Okay, we're good to go. Welcome everybody. We just had a little late coming in. We had a Discord server wide crash. So it's the meeting until it came back up, and it just came back up. So now just came back up. If you guys are over in YouTube and you want to come over to Discord, you can, and you can enter the Bookmap Academy room. For those of you new in here, don't know what the Academy is, let me just go through it every time, just to try to answer any questions quickly. So go to bookmap.com, click on the More button here, and under Community, you'll see Bookmap Community. You'll also see our Discord chat room linked to that. So go to Bookmap Academy, and you can read about what this Academy is all about. It is a coaching and mentoring program. Journal your trades. Hey, Valifan's in here. Hey, how about that? Nice to see you. So it is a coaching and mentoring program, and you journal your trades, and you can get credit for them. So we'll give you feedback on your journaling, and you'll also get to be able to share it within the room with other like-minded traders. And then that feedback we go over, you'll see how we go over this meeting, the feedback. And if you do a good job with that, you can work your way up into the Bookmap Junior Academy, and then do a good job there, and then you'll be invited to the Bookmap Academy. You press on the apply here, you're going to be an applicant, and then you work your way on up. And you can get, in this stage here, step 2, Bookmap Academy, you can get Bookmap for free. You can also get the stops and icebergs indicator add-on for free. You just need to double your quota. Not asking for much, just one journal a day, markup of your charts and your trading, and why you took your trade, etc. And build out your playbook. All right, that's the goal. If you do well in this Bookmap Academy phase here, you can be invited to become a coach. We invited Vinny last week. He is now a Bookmap Academy coach. So congratulations again. You guys continue to do well. You can become a Bookmap streamer, and you'll be getting data for free also in Bookmap Academy Coach. And then if you want to become a streamer, there's other incentives as well. All right, so just get started, fill out this form, get a spreadsheet, you request a spreadsheet, and then start filling it out with your journaling. We can go through that process if you like, but once you start doing that, then we can look at it and we can and give you feedback. All right, it's all free. There's no cost involved. Okay, so there's another thing for you guys, like some great stuff. Well, first off, we have our onboarding meeting. If you're brand new to Bookmap, you have questions, just to download, install, and get up and running, adding data and adding a symbol to the platform. We cover it in this webinar. It's only half an hour long. It's every Tuesday at 1 p.m. East Coast time. All right, and then here's the new offering. So really nice thing here. We are offering you a book. This is only for Bookmap Academy members only. It's exclusive here. That you can get the MBO bundle free for a month. Okay, so until May 10th. If you create MBO bundle content, like stops and icebergs or whatever it is, you can get 2 times the credit with. All right, so we've offered the 2 times credit in the past. We're doing it again here for the MBO bundle. So create that stops and icebergs content, and you'll get 2x the credit. If you already have the MBO bundle and you're already subscribed to it, we will refund your current MBO bundle retrospectively. What is it called? It is called Dan. What did I call it? The prorated. It will be prorated. So if let's say you have 2 weeks left in your subscription, we will cover that cost, and we will refund you that amount. Okay, so great, go for it. Like, it's, why not? Like, use your phone, take a screenshot of this, or you can go to the URL here, and I can copy that and paste it in into the chat as well. Okay, so that's the new offering. Go for it, guys. Have at it. A lot of you have requested access to this. It's kind of costly every month, so we want to give this to the DMA members exclusively, and enjoy, and create some content. See what you guys think about it. All right. All right. So anyway, the goals of the Bookmap Academy and the criteria is building out your playbook, meeting your quota, marking up your charts with your checklist, etc. And then we're looking for some progression in your trading as well, right? So that's how you can become a Bookmap Academy. All right, we go through that usually every week as well. Now, let's jump in, and we'll start going through some content today. Let's see here. We have in someone have Steven. I don't covered Steven last.
I've not got him. I've got Duzman and John. I'm not in, Bruce.
Okay, none of them are in.
Oh, John's in. I can just see John. Sorry, my bad, John. You've just come through.
Okay. So we got John, and let's see.
Someone got Laura.
Let's see.
She's in.
She's in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start off with John, and I'll kind of in the background take a look around and see what else we got. Right. So
my trading buddy John, as I'm calling him now, he's going to go, I'm not your buddy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, traders. Hope everyone's had a blinding week in these crazy markets. For John, I've got 2 trades, as often, and it's always a pleasure dealing with John's. I'm not your guy, buddy. Thank you, Dan. I got 2 trades here for John when he comes onto the. Oh, he's on mobile. Sorry, no voice. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see.
No probs. I'll be quick then, Bruce. No problem. We can get these back to John. I mean, the line I was going to say about John's posts, as I probably said, for a lot of people, is that they literally do talk for themselves. And in other words, John's posts are sort of an audio book out of Amazon, has to be said. Fantastic charting, easy to follow numbers, clear logic that he's taken here. I've got the time of day, I've got the time zone, that checklist has been worked through, the usual typical focus on liquidity and VWAP and so forth. Great aggressive entry here when London gets going. I think this is the London trade on crude. You can see where John's gone in at 4, nicely clearly marked where his tight stop is, a really tight stop, as we often see from John. It's, as he'll say, it's a binary trade. It's either working or it's not. And if it's not working, there's no point throwing money into the fire pit while you hope that it starts to work. Targets.
John is in here. He was able to get to the stage. You are muted.
Excellent.
But I mean, I don't know if there's an unmute button for you there. I know that like Trading is Life and others have used their phone to be able to chat when they're on. Anyway, you were doing a great job there, David. So sorry to interrupt.
No, you cut across me, sir. No problem at all. So yeah, classic trading from John here. We got the liquidity that's built up at 60.70. He goes down to that, takes his first target, and then he got his exit. I mean, this is a big trade on crude. This is a lovely trade. As you can see, it's $1.50 on that. The only thing I was going to add, and I don't know if John saw my post today. So what I find useful when I'm looking at oil, not only am I looking at the K contract that this one is, I'm also looking at the M for mother and the N for November. And you can get some confluence across the various contracts. The price is obviously slightly different, but you can get some confluence in terms of those liquidity levels. You can get some confluence on hidden orders and so forth, and everything else in between. I think the trade that I put up in the past couple of days, John, was showing some really serious bullion that was happening on the M contract, but you didn't see that on the K contract. And we've seen a little bit of that today. Let me throw the ball to Vinny, please, sir. Damn, David, I wasn't expecting that.
Vinny's here. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing well, sir. Doing well.
Good,
Good
good.
week.
Okay, you can for me.
Good week for
Yes,
you.
sir.
I know we had a bit of chat earlier on. I think it was you, wasn't it, within Spot Gamma? Nothing to do with me, he says.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad to be here today. I hope everybody's having a great day.
Yep.
And you know, not only with Bookmap on charts on one screen, and we got Masters Live on the other. So a very good day today.
Rose
And
still up?
yeah, what was that?
Is Justin Rose still in the lead? He was last time.
He is. He's in the lead.
Awesome.
Yes. And speaking in the lead, John again has done another terrific job over here. I mean, what I really like about John, just to add on to what David had to say, yeah, he has his annotation key up, which is perfect. He has his checklist, so I'm able to go ahead and follow exactly what he has. He has it labeled on the chart as well. I know where he went ahead and entered his trade. I can see his stop, and I can see his follow through all the way down to his liquid targets. So bravo to him, and you know, it's just a repetitive type of trade and his setup, and yeah, just you know, a nice example for the rest of the audience to really follow. And that's about all I have for now.
No, I think that's beautifully put there, Vinny. Well said, sir. Bruce, I'm going to throw the ball on a Monday morning, please.
All right, I'll do some Monday morning quarterbacking.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the things that, like, I don't know, John, I look at your trades and they always kind of scare me a little bit. I mean, they're beautiful. What you do is incredible. It's incredible work. It's incredible trading. Um, I just see some things in here that kind of scare me. I'll get to that in just a minute, but like there's something in here that I just love, and it's the number one right here. Uh, every single time you're very consistent about this. If you don't have liquidity at your levels down here, do not take the trade. It's as simple as that. You identify liquidity levels first. And this is fantastic. Like, where is the high liquidity? Where might price go? And then you have your setup. You know, that is when you start to look for setup. Now, in crude oil, you don't have your options in here. So what you're looking at instead is your VWAP, and you've got VWAP as number 2 here. This is your higher time frame level. First, where's the target? Where is it going? Secondly, what is my kind of higher time frame structure or outline or guideline or whatever it is? It's gone below the VWAP here. Now it did trade into this liquidity in here, and then we start to see some buyers in here. This is the part that scares me, because if I'm looking for, like, there might be buyers, and we're back up above VWAP times, and we could see the spike here really quick, and we don't get it. Instead, you go short down, you wait for it a bit, which is great. Wait for some of this sell volume to come in, and especially, I think this is what it is that you and why you're being so aggressive in here, I think, is because you've got all of this cluster of buyers here, and now they're feeling the pain, you know, or about to feel pain, and that's where you're jumping in. And
it's London Open. Sorry, Bruce, to cut in. It's just open. That 3 o'clock is London Open,
okay.
which, yeah, so I'm sure that's in the lens. It's not in the checklist, but I'm sure it is. Sorry, Bruce.
So, I mean, all of these are, I mean, if this is like the one of the biggest parts here, I think it structure for net buyers. Yeah. So, and then you're waiting for it, you're watching for it, and now you've got your target, and you know that this is trap volume. You've identified it over here, you've identified it in here, and you know that there's sellers below it. So that's how you can get away with a tight stop, and then looking for this to follow through. So really, really tight and concise or precise
Beautiful.
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And the other thing to reiterate, sorry, Bruce, on the liquidity level there, 60, 70, is that's overnight. You know, David sitting in London, that's overnight liquidity. For Moby, that's afternoon liquidity or something. So that's been sitting around. I'm not sure how long that was sitting around for, but we can certainly see on this chart, that hasn't just come in. So that's been resting through the Asian session. But then when London gets going, right, there we go. Let's go and find it. Let's go and chase that puck, as
so
John would say.
I'm sorry, which level down here? The 60, 70
Yeah,
that you
that's
said?
60, 70. Yeah,
I've been
that
in there.
liquidity there, that's through Asian. That's through the
Oh.
Asian frame. So it hasn't just snuck in in the past hour or so. You can see that's three, 4 plus 5, 6 hours. So you could say that may have been there. John would probably know if he was able to speak. That could have been there from the close, actually, the New York close. Who knows? But a significant level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce, this is Vinny again. I just wanted to chime in with you just to piggyback onto what everybody had to say over there. Yeah, again, John had a great trade, and what you mentioned, Bruce, is actually, yeah, if you draw a trend line, you would see that it did pop above the trend line where he shorted. And I know he uses VWAP for his entry, I believe. And with me, what I might have done was I might have waited till it popped below that trend line again. So yeah, so there you go. So you just draw it right there. And so that would be the only thing that I would maybe just be a little bit hesitant about. And I would wait till it actually dropped below that trend line again before I would enter. But he knows his trade. He's familiar with it. And yeah, otherwise, that's about it.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Excellent.
One more. I mean, I just want to underscore a couple of things in that, because we're looking at kind of a shorter time frame. I mean, there's like, I don't know, an hour or more, no, like 3 hours of data in here. But 3 or 4 hours of data basically. The one of the things, and I think for all of us, it's just so key and so important to note. I want to just reiterate this so many more times and again, that it is the higher time frame level, and it is also the higher time frame level as a target. And it is waiting for that, knowing your setup and knowing how to execute your setup very quickly. So your timing is correct. You have the higher time frame, because when good traders, it's not just magical, like, oh, the market gave this to them. It gives this to anybody, but your probabilities of trading on the higher time frame levels is going to make it much easier. So look for your flow around those higher time frames, and your probabilities will probably skyrocket. The best example I can come up with, well, this is it, but like next would be Rob Davis when he was trading, and I haven't seen your content for a while now, Rob, but the higher time frame options levels, and then your mastery of around those levels, because otherwise mastery of order flow around insignificant levels is get whipsawed. I'm going to continue to say this until you guys probably get tired of it. You're probably already tired.
Until we learn it.
Yeah. But it is that powerful. So that's all. I think I don't know, John.
I think John's here.
Yeah, he might have his mic open.
I just got back on. I think
right.
You can hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, when you were talking about the entries, I saw those buy bubbles as failures, right? So you guys were talking about breaking above VWAP there a little bit. Bruce,
Yeah.
is that what you were
Yeah.
talking about? Okay. I saw that as a trap. And, on the right-hand side, I go back to the Delta column there. There's a lot of buying in there, but they failed to push it up. And so when it came back down below that structure, I shorted based on that momentum. And that's why my stop is so close. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right. Because
Yep.
they're actually my favorites to see those, I know what that feels like, to buy there and it's like, oh God.
Trapped buyers.
And that's sort of what I'm jumping on, in hopes that I would get to that, that liquidity just below and then carry down to the first target. So it's a combination of that liquidity just below at 61.15 and those failures for those buyers to take it up. That's what I was trading off of.
Right.
Right. So if I can get right down to there, exactly, Bruce, then I can manage my stop down to the first target. And that was really the basis of that entry there in that formation.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I really like about that delta column. Yeah, because I was sitting here, I could listen, but I couldn't get on. And you said I was scaring you. I was like, what?
Poor John.
Well, I mean,
I'm not gonna be able to trade unless I straighten this out.
Yeah, exactly.
well,
Tell me, John. That
it's just hard to it's hard for me to see the bigger picture here because like we do know that this liquidity got filled
Yeah,
and this one here as well, and we do know
yeah,
that buyers came in and they are above this little structure. um but if the VWAP is going down and this is a higher time frame, like we're coming from a downtrend anyway,
yeah,
then and this before the open in here as well.
yeah, yeah,
What is that's all making good sense to me. As
yeah,
long as you get your sellers here below this, and these guys are going to have to run for cover.
yeah.
Uh,
And then my regret is that I didn't show you a larger time frame because there's very little liquidity above where we're talking about. And then
yeah,
look at all that liquidity that's below. That imbalance is causing me to be interested to get down there. Exactly.
yeah.
That is not present above VWAP up there. There's nothing up there.
Blue order.
And so when you were first talking, that is my first criteria. That is what I'm looking for. Where's the liquidity? Where's the puck? And that's where it is down there.
David, I'm sorry, I kind of talked
No,
over.
we're fine. We're both cut across each other. It's fine, fine. John, on the first target, that 60-70 liquidity, do you recall was how long that was resting in the Asian session? Did it go
It
back
was in there
to?
a while. I don't
Is it?
remember
Yeah,
to tell you the truth, but it,
sure.
it had been in there a while,
It
and it
looks
was
it.
a
Yeah,
lot, David.
yeah.
So yes, coupled with the liquidity below, and there's even more below that 60
Yes,
area.
down at
So
56, didn't it?
yeah,
Sort of
yes,
went
sir,
really did. Yeah,
exactly.
did.
So there was a whole series of levels down there of liquidity, and very, little above, if any, really.
No, beautiful trading, John. Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
No,
And
welcome, welcome.
yeah, I mean, like you were saying, David, we're coming near rollover. K
Hmm.
is rolling into M, and
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
probably back off it for a week or so until they make that transition. So, kind of a pain with crude. You got
Oh,
to
it
deal with
is.
that. Yeah.
It
Um,
is. It is for
but,
sure. For sure.
yes, sir. Yep.
Right. The next trade, John. This is from yesterday, Bruce. So
Okay.
this is my main reasons I chuckle to myself on this trade. So this is, if I'm right, John, this is you shortened. So we had that big bulls 400-500 handle move yesterday up
Yes.
with the old fake tariffs, and
Yeah.
John is shorting the market.
Yeah.
Um, and if there's a lesson here for all of us, it's like trust what you see on the screens, trust what your checklist is telling you.
Yeah.
Trade with your head, not necessarily with your heart. John, talk us through this bold short that you took yesterday, please.
Now you're going to make me nervous now, David. Damn.
Well, at least I'm not scaring you like Bruce.
Jeez. Between you two. Shit. So you've got new liquidity being added down there, 300 contracts. That's pretty sizable, right?
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the invite. But then also, if you look where I have circled number 3, you have that
Mhm.
structure in there. You've got some buyers in there, and it failed to take it up. Right.
Yes.
You come back up to that area, revisit it. There's a buy sweep there that Walter identifies, and I sold out the bottom of that.
Nice.
That those sweeps, they're a pretty good indication when you have a setup like this. And then again, looking over at the delta column, you can see where you have that concentration of net buyers up there. But again, they couldn't push it up, even though I had that liquidity up there at 54.41. Didn't
Yeah.
go. If it's
No.
not going to go, it's
Not gonna go.
I'm gonna short that failure again with those sweeps. I can come in real close with my stops because, as you mentioned earlier, it's a binary event. It's either going to work
It's
or it isn't,
yeah.
and there's no reason to place your stop way above, up to 54.45 and take on that drawdown. That's
No.
not what I'm about.
Lord no.
I'll re-enter up there, but I'm not gonna pay for that.
No.
Right.
Lord no.
So, and that's why I love, those sweeps.
Mhm.
The stop sweeps are actually better where they actually fill on stops, but the buy sweeps are pretty important as well to me, especially in that orientation. And then coupled again, you have that liquidity down below, marking the first target and then my exit target. And even down there at the exit target, that was it because that's your sell sweep down there.
Mhm.
Walter highlights it in blue. That means that
Yeah.
that sweep was filled on stops, and
Nice.
that's pretty magical at liquidity, and it reversed up from there. That was it.
Yeah, he's got. I love those little flags that Walter has. They really are
Yeah,
quite cute.
they're pretty informative. You can see the same thing in the MBO package from Bookmap, but I
Yeah.
have so much time and money invested in this. By golly, I'm going to use it. But and I like the visual aspect.
Yes.
He
Yeah, with the
tells you how
broom.
many and so yeah. And I think it goes without saying. I'm pretty certain. In fact, I'm almost sure of it that that hero was working down pretty solid. I know.
Yes.
Otherwise, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
because
have taken the trade. Yeah.
yeah, and Brent was shouting out it's time to short. There's certainly that change. I'm sure most of us were at the screens yesterday. That sort of slight change of mood music where
Yeah.
after such a monster run, people were starting to bag up.
Yeah.
It's like I'm need to take my chips off the table, and then
Right.
yeah. But
Right.
but either way, it's a bold trade going short. Yeah. So
Yes.
well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Vinny, sir, where were you on this one
David,
yesterday? Where were you yesterday, Pete?
David, thank you very much. All right. Yes,
Welcome,
yes.
welcome.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah. This is really a nice structured chart that we have here that John has posted. There's a couple of different ways you can really look at this. You can actually see the liquid up on top of resistance, and it comes in with a triple top over here. So you can enter where he has it number 5. You can take that down into consolidation at the very bottom of it. So that looks like they could be from 54.30-ish to, and looks like your checklist is blocking it, but we'll interpretate that to about 54.15. So that's be a nice 15 points right there. And then if you're still waiting for it to go out of a consolidation, you can wait to the break, and then you can enter at 54.15 and take it down to its first target right around 5400. So that's another 15 points. And I believe you also take part of it off, John. You pay yourself in your first target, and then you hit it with the second one, and you can just exit it out and be at 53.90. So that's what I see right off the bat, just looking at the structure. Otherwise, outstanding.
Well put, sir. Well put, sir. Bruce, your turn, please. Catch the ball.
All right, all right. Let's see. I just one thing I wanted to mention. Dan's in here that there's still kind of some Discord outages here and there. So if we do get disconnected in here, I think I don't know. Let's just see how long we go. But like I don't know if we call it a day or if we wait around in like 10 minutes and then call it a day. What do you guys think? Should we wait around, like, give it like 10 minutes or wrap it up at that time? I mean, it's really extremely disruptive for everybody. Or we can go over on YouTube. It's fine,
Mhm.
but we can't call people to the stage though.
I'm relaxed, Bruce. I'm more than happy to sort of give it 10 and catch back if we need
Okay.
to. I appreciate
Okay,
guys
cool.
put a lot of good work into things, and they're
Eg-
keen to hear. Let's
eg-
talk
eg-
about golf.
Exactly. I mean, like, boy, I mean, we've got some really great spreadsheets here, or I'm sorry, some really great Notion files from all the coaches here. So we'll put this into the chat after the event is over. in the Bookmap Academy room. So you guys can, if you weren't covered in here, you might have been covered in Notion file from some of the coaches. Okay, so just to let you know about that, keep an eye out for. And let's see. Regarding the trade here. Yeah, I mean, this is later in the day, so that big
Yeah.
move has happened, and then kind of looking back. I mean, like, I think it was around a 40-point move, and that's like a tenth of the move for the in the when the
For the
move
session.
came out. Yeah. So this is like a scalp or something, basically. In fact, it is. It's like, look, he's less than a minute in the trade.
Yeah.
Less than a minute in the trade, and it's like 40.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less, but nicely done, John. Let's see. In terms of your setup, okay, note liquidity. Again, I just love this number one. Note the liquidity and a new added liquidity. This here, John, this is where you've got a really keen eye on this. This is when it came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
see that, and so this is when he's starting to pay. I imagine, John, this is when you're starting to pay attention. You already know this. Okay, this information's known. This is known at 37 and a half or so.
Yeah.
And now you're looking for when this might go attack that liquidity.
Yeah.
And you're looking for excuses, or you're looking for your setup, to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got your buyers failed here, as you know. You like that one, which is great. It's a great one, and it retests back up here. This is something that maybe I'll make a video on this as well. And I'm about to release the videos. I keep on seeing you guys, but this is such a good one, that here's your swing here, right? Here's your trend line here, that you're probably looking at. It broke it, but this is where it dropped from. So if this fails up here, and it should fail quickly, if it does, then it's it's looking very good to come back down to at least the kind of low here, or hit targets of. But those maybe reduce some risk. One of these here, and take your profit there. I mean, it's really nice, John. This is I think such a great setup, because this is the fake out here. But this is where it failed, and it failed again. And now you're shorting it, and now you're looking for follow through.
On top of the sweep. The sweep is the catalyst.
And the sweep, that's right. The sweep and the stop run.
That's what caused me to get short.
Gotcha.
Over at number 3, that's okay. It's not a really ultra high percentage. Double tops and triple tops, they really don't do much for me. But except that when I have an order flow event at that double or triple top. And that's what caused me to enter there. And I have that on an audible alert that'll sound off. And I'm like,
Beautiful.
oh, mercy. That's everything that you said, Bruce, plus the buy sweep.
So, and what kind of data do you kind of track on your buy sweep? So, like, how much are you looking?
Greater than 99 99. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. And this time of day. So I might adjust it for the overnight, but for this time of the day, I used a minimum number of contracts as 99.
Okay, so that's pretty significant.
It's a significant sweep. Yes, sir. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd see those all the time. But that's why that's significant, and that just goes back to a lot of historical testing to see, where's the minimum value that I should really pay attention to, and they can be as high as 200 or 300, as you know, but that's a pretty good one. And, considering all other things that you mentioned, but I don't really use the diagonal trend line. I use the horizontal trend lines going across, um, but I'm just not skilled with the horizontal. I'm sorry, the diagonal trend line that I'm more interested in, going across the horizontal, and looking for an event. I'm looking, and it can be a sweep, it can be a stop run, it could be a volume spike that fails, something, and that's what I was waiting for.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. Again, like how one again, like kind of the higher time frame here. Well, this is a little different than the higher time frame. This is like it has gone already like 500 points,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now you're thinking it's got to reverse end of the day. Or what do you look at that kind of data as well? Like,
I just follow the liquidity.
gotcha.
I keep it real simple, real focused towards the liquidity. Try not to overthink it because I'm not all that good at it. Thinking about, oh, it ought to do this, it ought to do that. I let Bookmap show me where the liquidity is and I follow it and look for an entry that takes me to it. It really is.
Perfect.
I think you can get really, or at least I can get really twisted up trying to put some logic to it. I get faked out so easy. So yeah, and yes, sir. Yeah, thanks.
Hey, guys, I don't have any.
Yeah, good.
Nope, no me.
No?
Great stuff, John.
Any?
Thank you, as always.
I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Great, John. Hey, John, if you want to
Thank you.
stay and comment,
Sure.
you're
Okay.
welcome.
Okay.
Let's get someone else up here. And we got
Okay.
more people in now since our our Discord is back in. And, let's see. TNT. Let's jump over T. Spreadsheet. And this is Jack or it's you, Vinny?
This is me. Yes.
Okay, take it away, sir.
All right. All right. If you don't mind zooming into yep, his first one right there. If you can zoom in on it, I might not be. There we go. Okay. D&T. He always has these T&T charts. I mean, they're just outstanding. You pick the right puzzle and it's just putting all the pieces together. And so what I've done was, I wasn't quite sure where you put your entries and where your exits. So I just kind of went off it here a little bit. And just looking to the left part of the chart, I actually annotated it on your chart. I can see where your liquid support is on the bottom left. And then you have your trend break. And once you have your trend break is where it looks like where you went ahead and did your entry point. Now you have a couple of targets up on top over there. You have a target, your liquid top over there of the zone is actually 6 points. And then you have the other one at 14 points. So that was some excellent, that's some excellent targets that you had because I could see your green circle on the bottom left. I'm assuming that's probably where your entry was or pretty close to it. And then you just exited right between the two targets between 6 and 14 points. So that was terrific. I also noticed your orders were pulling higher, which you probably noticed as well. And so I just simply went ahead and created a checklist right in the middle of the screen over there so that you can go ahead and reference. And so what happened was, so it went up to your liquid target of 18 points, didn't quite make it and pulled on back right to your consolidation and right to your support, and then it moved right up to your other target of 18 points. So again, you have a great puzzle in play. You have a great puzzle. You put the pieces together. And just some things to consider is that, just picture like a stranger picking up this chart who may know very little about the stocks and can follow exactly where you entered the trade and a target of where you exited it. And, the steps that you identified to getting there. And I see that you have your own chart, which is awesome, which is terrific. So all I did was just kind of put all the pieces of the puzzles together into a checklist that could possibly be a little better understood by someone who may not have as much experience with trading. And yeah, so that's about it. So I'd like to know if you have any comments about that regarding your checklist, number one, regarding your entries and exits, and maybe you can, share with us if you don't mind. If you can talk.
Are-
Well, that's okay, Bruce. Why don't you go down to the bottom of the next chart if you don't mind?
Okay.
Perfect.
TNT, you're just muted. That's all.
Yeah, sorry about that.
There you are.
There he is.
Hi, buddy.
How you
going?
doing?
Hey, good, man. Good. How are you guys?
Great, great. Okay. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I heard what you said. Yeah, no, I appreciate you putting all that together. That makes a lot of sense. I like that you pieced all those pieces together. That makes a lot of sense. I like that. I like the way you said that. Um, this was a like a mean reversion trade, right? To VWAP and higher to higher targets above even VWAP, which is the opposite side of value. Um, and here, like your liquid support, I like that. It's a great that you pointed out because in mean reversion, you want to see this like consolidation. And but this was a slow drive down. I didn't get the whole picture on this, but this was a really slow drive down. But then you get this consolidation at the bottom, and then you get this pick. So price stops, right? And then price goes down, grabs this liquidity, and then goes back up. So it's almost like you think it's done. You think that's where the bottom is. That's where I initially entered right there where the mouse is at. And then price continues to go down even further and grab that liquidity that you're talking about. So and then I entered the second time when the price actually breaks above the trend break, like where you were talking about. You're number one. Yeah, and that's so that's where the mean reversion is. It's like I thought price was done, but no, in mean reversion, you want to wait for that price to be looks like it's done, but there's still liquidity underneath. Finishes and grabs that liquidity and then breaks the trend, right? So I like that you point that out. I appreciate that. That's a good point.
Yeah, it looks like we're both seeing the same thing as far as your entry goes. So spot on. Way to go. Outstanding. Yeah. What do you think of the targets that you have up there? I'm assuming that's what you were looking at as far as your green circle
Yeah, yeah,
initially, anyway, right?
those were the initial targets, and in reversals, they're the worst, man. They're really difficult to get, and you can lose a lot of money on them. So they're really difficult to get positioned properly. And in the market that we're in now, these just snap, and they almost don't offer any opportunity to get in at a good price. Um, so my entry there, you can see my first entry at the bottom left. Or the second entry after the trend broke, you really don't get an opportunity to enter until where I entered, but then I'm placing my stop at the bottom of that structure, and that's quite a big stop loss, right? Um, but in reversals, my point is what I'm trying to say is you can add into reversals. Reversals are pretty nice if you actually can catch them properly, and then you add into them uh the way it's some similar to how I guess however you want to add into them, but reversals are a little bit easier to add into than continuation trades. You're looking for the extension, um and for it to extend, so you need that momentum, and you need healthy participation beyond what you actually where you're actually positioned at, or where the market is at now, because you're anticipating it to go even further. Whereas reversals, you have these sellers that are trapped, and then it's a little bit easier to add onto that.
Yeah, great reference that you talked about as far as your pullback goes. And I can see that the target was up there for 18 points, and there was the pullback that you talked about into a little bit of a consolidation to the support before it took off again. to the liquidity and above. So yeah, nice going. And yeah,
Yes.
Bruce.
So
Yeah,
that's
I'm sorry.
something, yeah, I've noticed is the reversal's a lot easier to add on to. Not easier, but they actually do extend and they actually do go to targets. Whereas like adding into continuation trades, it's tough because you really need that momentum. But so yeah, it's good that you point all that out.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, Bruce, if you don't mind going down to the next one, if you don't mind.
Sure, but maybe David, you have any
Oh, oh
comments?
yeah, sorry about that. I was
That's okay.
focused. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
That's good focus. Don't worry. I do the same with Stan all the time. Yeah. The thing I'd add in here really is the green volume bars. Yeah, you can see there you got the number
Mhm.
4 as you've gone in, and we got some red, and then when we have the number 5, in comes the green volume bars. And a thing that I often post about, you can just casual eye across that. The greens have it. The green delta bars have that buy-in. So where you are looking to get into a long, you've got the volume bars on your side, and that's before you even look at the dots. That's the thing I'll add in. And then I'm going to throw the ball out to John, please.
There we go. Um, yeah, the liquidity levels are very well marked in here. And so you can follow that progression and the thought process just by following the liquidity levels. So it's very clear what was done by way of the liquidity levels, and then what David just mentioned with the volume. So it's that play between liquidity and volume, and yeah, very nicely done, and very nicely marked out with the liquidity levels. Yep, follow it easy. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Makes sense. Y- Yeah, the volume really picked up. The greens got it. Yep, I can see that.
Yeah, I would definitely underscore that from David. Wait for that volume, uh, and the and then I'll kind of double back to that in just a second, but in John's comment, well, but something I think Vinny did is very thoughtful,
Mhm.
nice, is he put this trend or this list together for checklist. I know you've got it over here, and you know what you're looking for. But this is just such a nice, and Vinny's so good at his checklists, uh, and and he's just kind of marking up. This is what sequentially kind of putting that puzzle together, like he said, and that is I. I'm not saying that you're getting lost in this, not at all, because you have your checklist. You know, I would just say to others watching, like this is how and why we use the checklist, understanding how to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So yeah, really nicely done. Um, the
Mhm.
uh, and then just getting back to the this play between the liquidity and the volume. So um, and it kind of goes back to John. I actually kind of have a question for John because I'm always looking for this. I want to see that liquidity. Uh, then I'm looking for the reaction, just like you're doing. I'm looking for this now. Confirm this is done, and that the buyers are now interested. And then I'm looking for where it might go. My question is, it
It's
seems like
like the Wyckoff spring.
I no, I don't really. I mean, I just know that it we need to absorb the sellers, and we need the aggressive buyers to move price the opposite direction, to move it up. And we know that they're going to search for, you know, target for them to make the deal with sellers, the majority of the sellers in these areas. And if the buyers continue to have appetite, that's where they're, uh, it wiggled away its way all there. But my question is more kind of, and I think you did a great job here. this one. This is real nice trading. The question I had to kind of back to John about, like, I don't see John looking at this, and I know he's looking at the context though of the aggressors and the targeting. But John, are you also looking at this kind of like absorption? You've talked about the exhaustion and the sweeps, stops, and etc. But liquidity on the other side. So,
Yeah, I always like to see that filled completely. In fact, I have a part of my nomenclature to say liquidity filled here, which means it's been completely absorbed. So leaving that down there is a little bit of a problem. Now, there was some volume down there by way of the volume bars that failed to go lower. So there is a reversal there. There is a true reversal down there. Um, I would have liked to have seen an event, a stop run that's failed or a sweep, something like that, that would enable me to pull the trigger. So I may have had a little trouble getting in there for that reason. I want to see that liquidity completely wiped out, and then we go.
um, yeah, really, really. So, I don't know. I mean, DNT, like I've kind of gotten my feedback has been to others, not necessarily to you. I don't have too much feedback for you on this. I think you did. This is a really nice trade. Nice trading.
Yeah, it's makes yeah, it's tough. A lot of sellers there trying to push beyond that level, which was a large absorption zone there, and it finally got to the bottom of it. And you just get this maximum effort from sellers, and then they pick it, pop, and then but yeah, they didn't grab all that liquidity. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem.
just think
And the
that all it
buyers
all
come
it
in big time.
all it takes. I mean, how many times have we all had this happen? And this is what John is kind of, I think, getting at. It's like, if it's not filled down here, and we get some buying, okay, maybe a big cluster, big green dot, and it fails. It's going to come back down. It's going to hit it. Most likely, not always, but, and that's why he's staying away. Speaking for John.
Yeah,
that,
that's right.
okay. So just to confirm, John confirmed it.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
great. So, and then I mean, this is such a powerful thing. Mention, John, of like, what are you looking at down here that helps make this higher probability? Either it completely filled, and, or some sort of, and or both.
Yeah.
And that is where you'll start to say, okay, well, now if there is sellers trapped, and I see buyers really side.
Mhm. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, great session, guys.
What
Stuff.
in the
Very
subgraph
much.
there, those spikes, the magenta spikes. What is that study? In this, yeah,
Those are absorption. That's absorption.
absorption. Hmm. Okay.
So, but it's absorption on the buy side, right?
Yeah.
So here and here would, so what it means is like price came up very, very quickly to these areas here, and at one price level, a lot transacted. So buyers took them on, and at one price level, it's probably very, very high liquidity that buying.
Hmm.
So it's all about the aggressor absorption indicator.
Mhm.
Just to kind of go over it, it is not reading the liquidity, how quick transaction took place at only. That's what it's reading.
Ah. Hmm.
So if so much transacted very, very quickly at one price level, we assume that it is absorbed.
Okay.
So that's the significance there. Now there's something about that though, like in absorption is like, yeah, it might be absorbed, but if there's just more aggressive demand after that, it doesn't matter. How many times have we seen like just trade into right blade right through high liquidity, and then maybe come back and down and retest the back side of it after?
Yeah, it's very true. Its absorptions are tricky. They're very tricky because I actually I'll put a post or a thread in the academy about the absorption zones and like kind of how they work, how they're like my primary location of interest to interact. But they're also not what runs the market either. They're just a small piece. And I've been, they've been really getting chopped ever since like rollover, I think the into the M contract. And I've been having a hard time trying to trade this market. So I've really had to kind of go back and refocus and trying to see what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. So I'm still kind of working on that. But I put a thread in the academy that kind of talks about absorption zones quite a bit. It's pretty neat if you guys wanted to check it out.
Excellent. See, Vinny, maybe, or any other comments, anybody on?
Just reiterate, well done. Well played. Well played. Keep it up, sir.
And that's a good point about being tricky. This is about as tricky as it gets right now.
Oof.
Never seen anything like this. We're now in April. I started trading and charting the S&P 40 years ago. I've never seen anything like this. This is insane. That's why I'm getting up in the middle of the night and standing on my head at 3 or 4 o'clock in the
Smart.
morning so I can stay away from this stuff. So don't feel bad about if you're struggling or getting twisted, because this is just nuts. How this market is behaving around these headlines.
It's smart. And I heard ASCL was a good um a good thing to trade as well. I heard that was pretty nice. It auctions well and stuff as well. So yeah, it's smart to do.
It's one of those markets where if it starts to run, it'll go a mile on a nice trend. And then there's also the QM, which is the half size. One of the things about
Mm.
micros that I don't like are the commissions, but the QM offers a nice alternative. David, have you done the QM with crude?
Not for a few years, but no, it's a
Yeah,
good reminder because I was talking about MCL last week, but you're right in terms of those
yeah,
commissions and so
yeah.
forth. But
Oh, the
you're right,
commissions are
QM is that
great.
mid
Yeah,
contract. Yeah,
yeah.
good one.
Yeah, it's nice
Interesting.
to have options. Yeah, and it seems like
Yeah.
the crude oil market responds to the liquidity very nicely.
It does, and I'd reiterate what you've said there, John. When it gets going, it gets going. It's not getting jerked around because something's happened with Nvidia or Tesla or something like that that suddenly brings it back another 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 handles. It doesn't.
Yep,
It goes. And
yep.
as we saw it on with your opening London trade,
Hmm.
it's changed direction and it's going to go and sail off for a while in that direction most of the time. So you just got to
Yeah,
get it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was great this morning. I had a party this morning. It was great in crude
Big
oil.
time. Big time. Yeah. Well played.
Nothing like you the other day, David, but
Well,
I'm getting by. My
well, the good
goodness.
Lord was that was an ORB trade.
Hey,
That
Bruce,
was
they're going
all.
to run out of money with this guy. Holy smokes.
So
Oh.
it's there to be done, guys. Some days.
All righty.
um, yeah, I was just trying to look this up. Like I believe it's the CME um,
Okay.
offering single stock futures soon as well.
Mm.
So
Ooh.
for you stock guys, and I know Vale Fund is in here too. I believe you'll be able to, uh, you know, be able to
Gee.
trade like Apple or Nvidia or whatever for single stock futures. Not have to have like $25,000 pattern day trader type of account. That could be a huge kind of sea change.
Very
in
nice.
trades.
Nice.
More and more information comes out on that. We'll let you definitely.
That's going to take off because that
Yeah.
restriction on the stock side is a real pain in the butt. You know, if you're
Yeah.
right there at 25,000, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, and then the wash sale.
Yeah.
I mean, the not being able to short.
Yep.
You know, there's a whole bunch of restrictions.
Yeah.
Pattern day
Yep.
trader.
Yep.
And then just having account and taxes as well.
Yep.
A lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
Hey, let's see here. Think. Well, you tell me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can just bypass that one. That's just in reference to D&T's first one. And let's go to D&T number 2, please. You have right there.
Okay.
Yep, we just zoom on in there. D&T, this is an awesome trend trade that you made right here. I see your checklist, which is awesome. Again, you have it in there as well. And I just went ahead and simplified it a little bit on the bottom right. I see your trend line pretty much going straight down. I have a one touch, a second touch, and then your third touch. And I believe that's where you went ahead and entered your trade. And right where the third touch of the trend line is, and you could just have your stop just above it. You have lower highs also in place. So that's 1, 2. And then there's your liquid target down there, which you have as your number 1, which is a nice 20 points right there. And I also like the way you use your subchart as well. You have your VPI extreme signal as well. And so target, I think I misplaced this. You have target number 1, you have liquid target number 2. I actually have 3 here. But yeah, you followed it all the way down. I thought it was outstanding trade as well. And I'd like to know if you go ahead and add on and explain a little bit more about your trade here.
That's a good, it's a good eye you got, man. At the open, I don't remember. Let's see, I don't think I noted the open really. If it was kind of like a wait and a sit and wait type of open, and instead of trading from the inside out. So my entry on the number 2, I might not have got. Maybe I would have. I don't know. I didn't trade it though, but let's say if I waited for the market to break out of range first, then I don't really have a great location to enter based on my zones that I'm looking at until it actually gets to your number 3 right there, where I put my red circle at. Yeah, it's a good eye on those liquidity targets, though.
Is that where you entered right around number 3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that was great. Yeah, I don't know if I would have entered number 2. I was just kind of establishing a trend line all the way down, but yeah, I think you were spot on with that as well. So that was outstanding. You know, I went over a couple of your trades today with this trend line, and it's funny because after I was done looking at your setups here, I went back into just real quick, about 10 seconds. I went back into trading mode, and this setup was right there as well. And I actually took the trade on down. It got me, a quick. I don't know. See, I know it was like 16 points in like less than a minute. So I was like, all right, D&T, good job. But yeah, so this was a very nice setup that you have here that could have been applied today. With the same structure. Yes. Do you have anything else that you can comment about that? Are we good?
I do. I like the adding of the trend lines. It is helpful to see that. I don't do it enough.
Okay.
It adds
Yeah.
influence
Well.
to other things, though. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
I like
No, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was going to mention, since we were talking about the MBO bundle, the ICE comes in right there at the top, right where your number 3 is at. ICE starts trailing right there. Can't really see it kind of hidden, but
Can you explain a little bit more about that? Yeah.
Yeah, ICE comes in and starts pushing the market. It's like it's added pressure on the offer, and then market's already going down in a pretty hard trend, right? And then the market pulls back, and what time? So like 10 around, this is 10:30ish, and then Eastern, pulls up to your trend line here, and then as the added confluence for your short, you get ice capping the top of this short. I didn't enter the short at the top there at the trend line. I entered near, like, below the VPOC. But ice still comes in anyways and caps it right there. So it's a pretty nice confluence to help with knowing that you might be in the right direction. And then NQ on the bottom left, you can also see NQ grabs that liquidity as it comes up. So market NQ comes up, grabs that liquidity on the offer, and then starts to consolidate a little bit, but then it eventually goes down, and the liquidity comes in on the offer again, almost similar to that ICE. On for kind of pushing the market down with added pressure to the downside.
Well, yeah, that was just what you just described was almost exactly what John's trade was earlier. It just popped up above, grabbed the liquidity, and came back down. But yeah, good going. Let's push on to David. Any comments? You're at it.
ORB, thank you, sir. Well
You're on the tee.
discussed. Thank you. Opening range bar. You've got the opening range up here. Do you put your lens across the ORB much anymore? Still, those sort of words, please.
I definitely do. So the way I look at it is, and like, I don't know if it's okay. So I'll just get to the point. So the way I look at the orb, the open range, is it not always, but almost like about 90% of the time, you almost always see absorption take place in that open range breakout area in general. And it fluctuates. It's not. Sometimes it's a small piece, or sometimes it's a really large piece. Right here, Bookmap actually paused. It was aggregating the data, so I didn't really get a good view at the open range, unfortunately. But yes, I do observe the open range, but in particular, not just the range. I don't observe the range itself. I observe the the locations of absorption take place inside of the open range.
Okay.
That's what makes it important to me. Yeah.
Today, my Bookmap was getting a little bit congested. There was a lot going on today. Don't get me wrong. What I do like, and you've seen over the weeks and months or a year or so, my M1, my 1 minute candle chart. I love to see it's old school Bruce. I love seeing those wicks. I love seeing those upside down hammers, shooting stars, whatever they need to be called. Give me an idea whether it's absorption or something else going on, that the price is failing to push higher in that orb area. And then that's given me a little bit of confidence. If I am shorting, I know, again, as John would say, I've got the sort of the wind behind me. I'm swimming with the tide, John. That sort of thing.
It's good.
In fact, let's use that segue for John, please.
There's lots of great insight on this chart, but my favorite part is the NQ window on that lower left, where you can see the liquidity of the NQ help you map out what you can expect to see on the ES. That's awesome. I have on one of my monitors the NQ when I'm trading the ES, and I use it for that reason. As you can tell, I'm a liquidity guy. So I'm always looking for where's the liquidity, and the NQ is a great way to help you map out. It may not be as clear on the ES sometimes, but lots of times you can find clarity on the NQ or the SPY or the QQQ. I look at all of them, always searching for that NQ. So always searching for that liquidity. So that's my favorite part. Lots of great things on this chart, but that's awesome where you've included the NQ.
It's been helpful, but lately it hasn't. NQ is just gone. Like, the liquidity is just gone.
Going across the board. Yeah. So that's why it's even more important, where you can find it,
I don't know if some of
It
you
was helpful, yeah.
My bad. If some of you caught Jack on the pre-chat, before, although we had all those Discord issues, wasn't he, Bruce? He was just talking about the lack of liquidity across all the markets. He was talking all the various levels on options, everything else. It was just, it's barren, it's dry, it's a desert at the moment.
Crazy. And regarding that open range that you were talking about, I've been something that I've known for a long time, but I've had trouble actually trying to integrate it, is the observing yesterday's auction observing the ETH auction. If I'm observing balance, a lot of times it's best for me, just me, to wait for that market to kind of break out first. So
Yeah.
like wait for the open range, wait for the consolidation, wait to see what happens. But if it's been balanced, usually fading back into mean reversion is the trade. And then when it breaks out of balance, and if there's an actual setup to place that continuation trade, it's a pretty good trade. But you also want to be careful because it could just go back into mean reversion. So the opening range, it is a little tricky, but um, yeah, sit and wait a lot of times is a helpful approach to the open.
No, definitely. And there's no, I say no wrong or right answer. You can, I say it's not about me. Some days I'm swinging literally before the bell's gone, getting told off by the referee. And other days, yeah, I'll sit back and wait. Bruce, I've just posted my M1 ORB from today, which perhaps we can look at once we've covered some of these charts. But that's again really shows really easy on that 1 minute where there was failure, where there was breakdown. Oh, legend, mate, legend. So again, we had this last week, guys. So the horizontal sort of crocodile teeth is the M1. The horizontal dashed line is the opening print. You can see we scooted down. So this is UK time. So 14:13, 9:30 New York. We scooted down, we scooted back up, and then you've got the LH, that lower high, that's sort of 15, 20 minutes in. It just cut the upper ORB before then the price came brutally down. There's some M's there. The red lines are 200 exponential moving average and some other voodoo going on. But it's a great line. And I know we had some comments last week, particularly when this is married up with Bookmap and you put it all together. It's a very powerful chart for me. Anyway, but you use it anyway, DNT. So that's great. That's great.
Nice.
Thank you, Bruce. Well played, sir.
Right. So I love the what you're doing, NT. What the reversal? You have a continuation. Reasons behind it here. I'm and you have this momentum in the morning type of trade. There's I get a little confused myself in here on these kinds of trades, and so I just wanted to cover it, and maybe you guys have feedback, but like so I'm looking at the volume bars in here, and in here, I mean, there's quite a bit of buying. You can see it up here now. It's not really getting much traction, that's for sure, and we are now below the figure, right? And we have the momentum move to the downside. It's still, there's quite a bit. Okay, there's some selling in here. It's back and forth as well. There's a lot of buying in here, and then here's a lack of selling in this area. And yet it went down. These targets, high liquidity. So I don't know if this was an important level, this 54.75. I mean, got something in red here.
That's the IB low, yeah.
IB low. Okay,
so the IB stat.
And
I see what you're saying.
That's created by this. So
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Into 1030.
Okay. I don't know. I find the entry a little tricky, but that's just me.
So when I'm looking at continuation, and in reference to the volume, what I want to see is a slowing down or a tapering of the opposite side. So in this case, buyers are heavy, but then I have my little taper of when buyers actually start to taper down. So like buyers are heavy, but then they actually slow down and slow down and slow down, or they're slowing down. Like you can see my little downtrend there on the volume bars.
Yeah.
So So, and that's on the continuation trade. And then on the reversal, usually I want to see health. I want to see the strength on my side. So it's kind of like the opposite of what we're seeing. Kind of like the opposite, but if we went back to the other trade where it was actually the reversal trade, you can see those buyers just were healthy. If you remember that trade,
Yeah.
and that's was the side that I was on. It wasn't necessarily that the sellers stopped. Like, it's not necessarily that the sellers were tapering off or the sellers started to fade off or anything. It was more so that on the reversal, the buyers were actually really healthy. But on the continuation on this one here, I want to see the slowing down of the opposite side. So it's a little bit different.
That's nice. That's really great to hear. I didn't see that line in here. So, yeah, that makes sense. You got the figure, it's below it. These buyers can't get traction. Then, just like what John was talking about, like this cluster in here, get below it. They're going to feel the pain into some of the higher liquidity levels. And that's some good stuff. There's just another thing that kind of I really like here, and this is more kind of just market structure. Is there's a much smaller trend line here that is broke, right? And you get that cluster of buyers up here, but they just can't get higher. And then it comes into what you said. So and then we got the higher time frame trend line. This one, right? So broke this one, but it's still in a downtrend. So now you're just kind of continuation, putting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then who's to say it's not going to go all the way up to the VWAP or the mid,
Yeah,
right? And
it could
then
have.
go down to the BPOC and then down lower. It definitely could. These were these. It is tough. It is tough. There's no doubt about it. And these absorption zones were from ETA, so otherwise there wasn't really a whole lot of location for me to enter on the short other than these ETH absorption zone here. Yeah, and then the trend, I liked that trend. That was helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions, guys?
None for me, thanks.
Nope, I'm good.
Cool, thanks, Vinny. Thanks, guys.
No, great stuff.
Yeah,
Well
thank
played.
you. Let's see. Hey, Valley Fun. I don't know if you have anything you want to throw into the chat. Nice to see you in here. So anyway, I thought I'd just throw that out to you. Let's see, we have another piece of. Let's see.
We do have a third one for
Oh, you do have
DNT
a third
if you
one.
want.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Vinny, is there something special you want to go over, or maybe we kind of move on to somebody?
No, I
Just
think his third one, it was the same as the second one. It was almost an identical trade, so we can move on.
Just the trend. It's the nice trend line there. Yep. Thanks, Vinny.
Okay.
You did it again. Nice going.
That's cool.
Well done, buddy.
We'll put this into the chat for you, DNT, so you can take a look at it.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Let's see here. Let's move. Let's see, we've got Malek. I think this is Jack.
Okay.
And so Jack is, I don't know if Jack, if you back in, but and you cannot speak right now, Malek. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, you can see what Jack has put in some nice comments in here. check out. That's for sure. So make sure that you. Let's see. All right. Let's move on to another. See. Just a minute. Duzman. David, we
Perfect.
yeah, and this is Duzman. This is your first time, I think, right? So come on up to the
Excellent.
stage.
Yeah, welcome, welcome.
David, take it away, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Duzman. Really great to see new traders coming along for a chat. I've got a couple of charts here from Duzman, and they're more of a sort of longer time frame. So I appreciate he's been sharing some of the trades that perhaps haven't quite sort of worked out. So we've got this higher time frame here, Bruce. As you can see, we've got a checklist on the bottom left. If we look closely, you can see the date, the time, the zone, all those things that I like to understand. There's definitely a bit of a focus here on volume profile. I might be correct, might be corrected on that, Bruce. That sort of upper left side reminds me of some of the charts I used to see off Scott a year or so back. I'm not sure if he still does that sort of setup, if he does, and so forth. So he's laying out what he's trying to do. And then on the Bookmap chart, which is the second chart, you can see then his logic in terms of where the trade, where he's getting in, and perhaps why it's not sort of worked out. It's quite a zoomed out Bookmap chart when we look at it, Bruce. It is covering quite a little bit of time compared to perhaps some of the other charts. It's quite sort of squeezed in. Although, of course, the way the prices we were saying these days has moved around, then that's what it is. So we can see where he got in and where it worked and where it didn't sort of work. A little bit of focus on liquidity at the 5/100 level, which is great. The point that I was going to add in too, if he's on the mic, or hopefully he'll be on the mic shortly, is
Yeah,
I
I'm
use
here.
one.
Sorry.
That's okay, buddy. Welcome. Is the
Yeah,
volume
thank you. Thanks
bars?
for having me.
Yeah.
Sorry?
So if I finish on the volume bars, if I finish my sort of line here at sort of 9:45, we got a real pickup in those volume bars. That could have been a possible entry,
hmm
and then you've come back along then to 9:55, and then a definite another pickup on the volume bars when the sellers don't really take it very far, and in you go. But talk us through, please, sir, if you remember this one. And I can't say welcome again. It's great to have new traders with us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here, Well, right now I was looking at I didn't see this while I was trading at the moment, but
Okay.
while I was reviewing it, the liquidity at the bottom around like 912 and 900,
Mhm.
that during the ETH, the price came there and it held it.
Yeah.
So from there, when the bounce carried on and it kept on consolidating, I was assuming it was too low and that price was gonna carry on higher overall. That was essentially the thesis when it comes to the liquidity over there.
Okay.
Seeing the sellers match the map 2.8 where the buyers were,
Mhm.
and seeing the other little what's it called, green dot right above
Yeah.
that, it pretty much just showed me, okay, buyers are probably more so interested in carrying on with this trend.
Okay.
It didn't really play out like that after the fact, but at least I believe that area was either VWAP. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but yeah, it carried through to that level. It didn't go all the way to 100, and then from there, if I remember correctly, it fell through. But yeah, actually no. This I think this one was the big trend day. Yesterday's. So yeah, I
Okay.
think it carried through. Yeah.
Perfect. And you've got it, quite tightly zoomed. Although, as we've talked about yesterday, really was some crazy numbers sort of thing. Are you normally keeping it this quite tightly zoomed, or is this just for the post and the screenshot, please?
Yeah, it's for this specific one. It's for the screenshots. Well, for all the
Okay.
bookmaps, realistically, it's for the screenshots. But
Yeah.
when I'm on the chart, I look at the 2 second just for the sake of the structure and just to see where the supports and resistance are very clearly in a sense. And then I have another chart where it's the 1,000 volume bars, and those
Okay.
I pretty much treat it like it's a 5 minute chart essentially. So I use those together, the 2 second for the entries when there's when the 1,000 bars at a location, and if it makes sense, I take it. That's pretty much how I do it.
Okay. And do you eye sort of patterns, simple patterns of lower highs, higher lows, and those sort of things on a chart? Does that catch your eye and your attention? Like we look across here, we can,
Mhm.
Jack would often correct me or agree with me, broadly sort of a higher low sort of printing its way through and that sort of thing.
I do look for those,
Yeah.
especially like when it's in a bigger rotation. I do look for that.
Mhm.
It's essentially telling me sellers or buyers, whoever it is, they're not willing or capable of taking price to the previous swing.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's just telling me, okay, price is probably gonna either go back down to the previous the bottom of the range or fall through the range. So I do consider highs on those. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And in terms of you're sort of setting a stop management, do you have a set level, or are you sort of looking at the chart and saying, okay, I'm just going to pull it below where the price action is or something, please?
Yeah, it's a set level. My stops are static. I would like to move them around, but
Okay.
the way I see it is, I could always be like, okay, this is where price is gonna go. This is where the price is gonna go, and sooner or later, I might have it at the bottom of the chart. So I might as well just keep it static in something that's reasonable, of course,
Sure. I mean,
at least for now.
yeah, it's easy for me, any of us, to say there's no sort of wrong or right answer on stops, particularly in the current market.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw the ball over to you, Vinny, please, sir.
Yes, Duzman, how are you? Doing
Yeah,
this is
I'm
a
good. How are you, Vinny?
good, thank you. Yes. Boy, I tell you, just looking at this chart you have up over here, I almost looks like it's a 60-point spike up in about 5 minutes. So yeah, this was a quite an impressive
Yeah.
move. But yeah, and I don't know if I would have been able to catch this one, but I can actually see a little bit between 9:45 and 9:50. Looks like you got some volume coming in over a bunch of buyers out there on the very bottom. So I might have kept an eye on that, and as it slowly dipped, I might have kept an eye on the if there was any kind of low volume zones over there on the profile. There might have been, and if there was, I might have kept a close eye on this, and you might have been able to have an entry. I just needed to looked at this a little closer. And yeah, boy, I tell you, if you were able to nail this one, you got yourself 60 points in about, I don't know, a couple minutes, it looks like. But yeah, and there was another really
Yeah.
good indicator over here too. Look like you pinpointed this too. You have your liquidity starting to come on the book up there at about 5,100. It didn't quite make it up there, and I don't know why. Maybe it made it up there later on in the day, but that's another good indicating that this could climb maybe a little bit higher. But that's what I see right off the bat. So nice outline you have.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Vinny. Very good. John, sir, please. Liquidity all over the place. Your bailiwick, your wheelhouse, sir.
Yes. Well, liquidity and volume. So he's focused
Mm,
on liquidity and volume, and the chart is very clean. There's not a lot of stuff on there, and I love how you're talking about sellers unable to carry the price lower or buyers unable to carry the price higher. That's a lot about what I do. What helps me, and that's just my eye, is down at the bottom, the volume bars. I can click and drag on it where it says 1000 on the left hand side of the scale, and I can drag that up and make that a little bit bigger, so it's always in. I can differentiate the volume a bit better. That's just me. You might get a little
good
better
show.
read off of dragging that up a little higher. But no,
Okay.
this is a very clean chart, and you follow what I'm saying? How you can make the
Yeah.
volume bars, the amplitude, the height a little bit higher, and that can
Okay.
help you kind of see where the volume is going since you're so focused on it. And that's
Mhm.
perfect, and that enables you a great read that you've done here. So wonderful chart. Yep.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very
It,
much.
it enables you to make a quick decision and a very informed decision by just looking at the play between volume and liquidity. Yes, sir.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Bruce, please.
Yeah, thanks, David. So pretty similar to everyone else's comments. Like I really like seeing this right here after seeing this,
Mhm.
and I think you say sellers show up. Well, down here. Well, you can even see like a little double bottom in here, right?
Mhm.
And maybe hard to see, but selling on this one, very little selling. Probably exhaustion on sell side, buy side comes. You might even be able to. I guess you did get in here, right in here, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, actually, yeah, I got in at the where the yellow line is. That was the overnight high. That was where I got in, and then I went long, and then I got stopped on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, like I don't know. This is something like we're all a little different. Uh, this resonates very well with me after seeing
Mhm.
this cluster, and then again up here, and I would be here measured move up and there. Um, but
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get out of the personal part of it. I just can't help but
That's
seeing
all
that,
good.
and it helps me confirm these things. But I think what something interesting, John was talking about uh, is volume and liquidity, and then look at the volume up in here compared to these areas, right? And you can see
Yeah.
it. You can see it kind of exhausting out, right? So
Yeah.
it's traded into high liquidity. It's traded in a little high liquidity here, and this move is very nice, as Vinny had mentioned, but it's just running out of steam. And
Yeah.
uh, I would be looking for a pullback, maybe a bounce off of here, maybe a bounce off of this little kind of jag right here. See it go up, and maybe it continues, but it came all the way down, and like now, like you're kind of seeing this flow and change of volume, and it gets tricky because there's less buyers. There's quite a bit more selling now. Cluster of selling. We're still in an
Mhm.
uptrend. It's still higher lows, higher highs, and maybe it can only make it up to about here, fail, where the sellers came in, and maybe
Mhm.
sellers take control. But this is where, and I'm sorry, this is just kind of analysis step by step, where uh, like John and everyone had mentioned here about the high liquidity at 5,100, and they're adding more. Well, and like you're showing, this is dynamic though, and we get a wall building,
Mhm.
and we had kind of it out over the buy side, and we have a cluster of selling. So maybe I don't know if it hit it or not. I mean, we know it not only hit this during the day, it went way like, but
Yeah.
in this time frame, it's looking pretty weak up here. I'm seeing kind of more sellers, and then maybe it rolled, maybe it just kind of went back down to bottom of the range here. I don't
Mhm.
know. Uh, just yeah, sorry for the kind of long. Um,
No, no, there's no problem. I appreciate it. That's what I want to see.
Oh, okay. Just a long analysis in here, and it's kind of reiterating what everyone else had already kind of said. Uh,
Mhm.
but there's again and again we see these things, and it's dynamic. We get this liquidity coming in, and um, we never know. Maybe that buying all of a sudden really just picks up and chew through all of it right up into. But it's looking weak
Yeah.
in here due to the things that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. It makes sense. Yeah, that area, there's just more seller, like aggressive sellers in the first place. There's not that much buyer delta showing up, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that opens up any other comments from anyone else, but That's what I see.
Mhm.
Great points, Bruce. Great points. Everyone.
Terrific.
Yeah. A good chance. Good chance. Thank you.
Right.
Where to next, Bruce?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I've
let's
got
see here.
another. There's another chart here from Duzman if he wishes to talk
I'm
on.
gonna go this one.
Yeah,
Higher
why
time
not?
frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I think I made an error actually. This is this is Monday, the 8th.
Yep.
Yes, on Monday I made a mistake. I don't take, like, you see how price went up from the purple line. That's the the full session VWAP.
Mhm.
From there it went to the RTH VWAP, and I don't take reversal trades from VWAP. So I completely messed up on that one. I should have went long. That was part of the plan, but I forgot about that and I went short, and here I am.
That's fine. You're honest.
And this is the what you saw in book.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I do this after the fact, and I was just pretty much seeing how Bookmap could have either helped me prevent taking the trade or how it supports the trade. That's essentially what I do after I take the trade on the chart.
Got you. Yeah, great. I love it, Deuce, that you're covering it that way, and then marking it up, and understanding what this means in your bigger picture context.
Yeah, yeah. The bigger picture helps a lot. It's in terms of like setting a bias and whatnot. It's pretty motivating, I guess I could say. It shows what I should do more often than not.
Right, but then you're confirming it here with the order flow.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's a very powerful comment.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
David, what do you got?
Yeah, no, it's a nice chart. There's certainly some entries here that you could have taken, as you say, at 5 where you should have gone long. I would beg to differ. You could have gone long a little bit a bit earlier than that, where the arrow on the red bubble. I appreciate that's sort of fairly aggressive, and I know Bruce is the expert on this in terms of that sort of zone, that congestion around the 5240 area. The selling hasn't been, as you often comment, the selling's not been able to take it any lower, and then a little bit of buy volume comes in, and off we go. If you're quick on the mouse, that really for me is a fantastic entry. As is on the right hand side, just after, I guess it's about 9:56, we get that fat green bubble coming in, the same sort of thing. So there's some good two-way trading there, and of course, before John gets the mic, there's that liquidity, as you've rightly highlighted, at 52.76-ish. And then there's even higher liquidity, 53.00. I don't know if there's any large lot traders in there at all, Bruce. But there's, you look at this, and there's that trend of pushing upwards towards that liquidity. You've got the volume bars to support that. You've got some simple patterns to sort of give you the idea of places to get into. You've got zones off that where Vinny will be placing his stops below the price action. Sort of that thing, John, of it's either working or it's not. So yeah, you've clearly got a great understanding of the market, and I'm sure you're going to continue to grow and develop. On that point, John, help me, please, sir.
He just stole my thunder, Bruce. So imbalance of liquidity all above the price action. So it's nothing but long. And then you're looking for exactly what you're talking about, a failure for sellers to take it lower, and you're looking for those reversal spots. But with that imbalance of liquidity above, you're just looking for places to get long. They're a real nice job. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Well done. Vinny, sir, what can you add, please?
I don't know if I can add much more than all you experts, but I'll tell you, this had some range on it, didn't it? From 52.35 up to 52.75, and yeah, it couldn't sell off, could it? So I mean, the volume bars, you have this one big buyer that just seems to be, keep pumping it up and keeping up over there in the volume on the very bottom. But I see you have a very shorter time frame. I mean, you're gonna have to be pretty quick. You do have your trend lines that you could get in on some pullbacks once it breaks. And yeah, so there are some opportunities, but it looks like you're going to have to be kind of quick on it and right on top of it. But yeah, it's definitely holding its own. And again, you have that volume spike few of them actually on the bottom that's preventing it from falling. But then you have your resistance right above as well. So yeah, either one, it's just consolidating at the moment is what I see. That's about it. Good going.
No, well done, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bruce, sir, please.
Vinny, Vinny just, Jesus. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's okay. So, here's something. I think this is a good example of something John talks about quite a bit. Is not just the, long because of the liquidity up here. Not just because of that. Look at all of this down here. There's just not much, right? And then look at the interest in transacting down here. Your volume profile guy, here's your interest, your previous interest. So there's really no, and you can kind of see, look at the volume, look at the volume. This is a higher low in here, but like there's some selling in here, just not getting any traction. So, this is, I think, a really nice example of, there's not much down here, and there's not much interest in transacting down here. Then, like, back to rate John had said, this is where it's looking to go. And it's not a strategy, it's not anything like that. It's just kind of a bigger picture view of auction.
View. Okay.
Where the puck is, Bruce.
Yeah.
Where the puck is.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I mean, like, I think we had the I'd have to dig it up and show exactly where, but I think it was in part 2 or part 3 of our educational course that we did this in the market structure course, like, back in like 2017 or 18. But it's not part 1. It's like, I don't know, it's either part 2 or part 3. Exactly this whole thing of, like, look at the exhaustion in a trend. Where does it want to go? It wants to go to high liquidity and look for the buyers to have the appetite. Because in here, there's no appetite. And this is sideways. It's a great example. You see it in the trend. That's all I have.
Perfect. We look forward to more charts from you, sir, Mr. Duzman.
Yeah.
We do.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Welcome. Very welcome.
All right, thank you.
Good job.
Well, let's see here. Let's see. See, I think got back to Malek. Are you able to speak? Maybe there's time has elapsed here.
He says yes. Excellent.
Okay,
Excellent.
great. All right, so let's jump that. Bring it.
Good evening, Malek. Great to see you again, sir.
Good evening. Greetings to all the coaches and all the comrades in the chat.
Perfect. Been a good week?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
No, welcome.
Okay. So this was from, I believe, Jack. And Jack is anyway, why don't you jump in, Malek, and maybe walk us through Black Sun strategy.
Okay, so usually I just put the cloud notes for the different levels. So basically the Wyckoff theory is you create the preliminary supply, which is the first sign of selling. Then you get the buying climax. Then you get the the automatic reaction. Then you get the uptrust that breaks above the buying climax. And then after that, you start getting lower points of supply. So according to the theory, the lower points of supply is the best place to enter. But my strategy kind of incorporates entering after the buying climax and the uptrust. So from when it comes to the buying climax, which would be, let's see, I'm trying to see where that would be here. I think it's around 52.96. But I don't think this is my execution chart. So it's a little difficult to narrate this. So basically my notes are saying absorbing buyers at second VWAP upper deviation, weekly Camarilla artery. At this point, I'm waiting for the uptrust. Okay, so we're getting absorption from on the offer, right? We have heavy liquidity on the offer. As we're coming up and we're creating this distribution pattern, we're going up to create the uptrust, which is the third arrow up there. So I believe my trades were after that. Yes, I see there's an arrow right there. It's a purple arrow after the retest of the high right there. We get a push down and then we push back up.
Oh, in here?
No,
There it
to
is. I
the
see it. I
yes,
see
yes,
it.
there it
Okay,
is.
got
Yeah,
it, got it.
yeah. So I believe I got 6 points on that coming down to just above the liquidity. There's the arrow right there. And then my trailing stop is 4 points behind after we hit the first TP. So that takes me out. After that, I believe I have some other trades that happen after the other uptrust, right? Oh yeah. So I could see I actually made some mistakes here where I entered at the lows and I got stopped out. So you can see there's a purple arrow down below there at the bottom of, yeah. And I believe I got stopped out on that. So that's because I'm not following my rules. I'm not supposed to be shorting at this level. I'm supposed to be shorting on the pullbacks. So after that, there's another trade right there that stops me out. And I flip my position. No, I just take another short after that. So I get stopped out twice. And after we create this LPSY right there, I enter short again, I believe. But on this same
here's your
on this
short.
same trade, yeah, on this same trade, I think there's a better heat map that I provided, which is more clearer with the entries and stuff. This was more like an overview of the structure. And that's I think, wait, no, it should be, could we scroll down a little more? It's not this one, no.
This is what
It,
Mikey has
it,
for you.
is this the same day, the one that we're at the bottom there, below?
This is April 8th.
No, it's not the same one. So yeah, I only have that heat map to work with, but there's another one provided as well, which is a little more clearer.
Okay.
So the buying spikes on the VP buying spikes at the bottom there, that's kind of in line with the uptrust. So we're looking for buying exhaustion. So when those spikes go off, usually it coincides with buying exhaustion. So that's part of just like a little confirmation of the uptrust that I look for. And there's also, what is there? Buy stops and iceberg sellers. So all of that is putting pressure on the sell side. Just after we break above that big liquidity right there, we just get basically the stop run, which is the uptrust. And after that, we're just basically breaking down. But I have to enter at certain pullbacks, which is called the LPSYs. I have to enter more around there instead of like shortening the hole that I did right there. That was two bad trades right there.
Let's see. David, what do you got?
Well, like it, Alex. Thank you for sharing the trades with us all. I really like if I say the technical setup you've got here, the focus that you've got. You really are looking ahead for where the price could go, should go, and all those words around that. You've identified that liquidity. You're looking then for that exhaustion when the price goes up. You're looking for your confluence on stops and icebergs. And in you go. And as you rightly admit, you some of the trades further down were not in the right place. They were outside your rules. We all do that. I still do that at times. I just get a little bit carried away with the mouse. So it's good to be sharing that with us. Yeah, I like it. It is a busy chart. Don't get me wrong, but you could say that
Yeah.
about mine. But my ORB chart is like, this is a Picasso. I like that. Do you have it this zoomed when you're trading, or is this this is more of a post to show that? So you get closer in when you.
Yeah, I get a lot more closer in. This is just like to provide the context. I usually operate around like a 30-second time slice.
Nice. That's wow. Okay.
And the reason for that is I want to see the exhaustion quickly. You know, we have the what is it called? The best offer and the best bid. You know, those two lines around the bubble. So my observation of exhaustion on the buy side is when the bubble stops hitting the best offer.
Okay.
If it stops hitting the best offer, that's a first indication of buying exhaustion, because if they're aggressive, the market makers would send them to the best offer.
True.
Right? If they hit the market buy, they keep hitting market buy, it's gonna hit the best offer. They're gonna send them there. If we stop getting that, that means that the buying exhaustion is taking place because they are not as aggressive.
Yeah. And I think also on the volume bars, we've talked about this before. You like having the non-delta with regular bars, so you can see the two sort of times, because there clearly is that failure at the top. There is that breakdown at sort of, I guess, around about sort of 10.23, somewhere around there, and then it scoots back up around about 10.36, and it fails, and down it comes. There's some great two-way business to be had here. That is for sure. I like it. Let me throw over to John. Goodness, sorry, Malik, my bad.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, because of the Apex rules and stuff where I'm at right now in my trading, I kind of exit quicker than I should, because the structure is showing me that there is more downside to come. But I have to kind of stick with like the Apex rules as not to give back so much. So in the future, I would probably just like have a static stop and just leave it above the structure and just get as much as I can. But right now, I have to kind of cater to their rules, basically.
Yes, you've got one arm tied behind your back. By the sounds of it. But well played all the same. Well played.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. John, please.
Okay. So I want to focus on the short at 10.18, because I think you have many elements working in your favor there. I think it's an outstanding trade. And frankly, I just didn't see the other trades that you did because the elements weren't there. So if you, starting from the left hand side moving forward, you have liquidity there at 5,300, which typically at those century level marks you're going to have that because there's going to be a lot of gamma there, right? So you push back above that, you have some stop runs up there, an order flow event. You have some ice working up there, which you indicated, some ice sellers. And then right when that liquidity is filled at 53 even, below, which represents your target, new liquidity came in at 52.90. Right? That marks your target. That's beautiful. And you sold into that. You made your 5 points. And so that's where I'm talking about. You had a number of elements, order flow elements, working in your favor to make a really nice trade there. And I just didn't see it for the other things that you did when you went short, and you're saying now that it was a mistake on your part. But if you just focus in on those order flow elements along with where liquidity is and how volume is reacting to it, you're gonna hit that great trade that you did there every time and be consistent. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great points, John. Great points. Vinny, sir, please.
Okay, yes. Malik, awesome display that you have here regarding your analysis. You know, you're very in depth. I've been keeping track of your YouTube channel as well. You're very thorough, and I just want to just jump on real quick on a tangent. I know you talked a little about. I mean, I can see you use your VPI spikes, so you're using the MBO package chart, and that looks to be really productive for you. Also, a little bit of a more mental aspect. I know you mentioned you got stopped out a couple of times, and I tell you, you can't really blame yourself in this market. You know, you're having moves I can see in your chart at 25 points and within what, just a few minutes. So you know, don't beat yourself down too much on that. I know you had your stop at 4 points to get 6 points. I believe you mentioned that earlier. Some things as far as a mental aspect goes, and you know, regarding these large moves, you may want to even consider jumping from an ES to the MES trade, so widen your stops even more. So now you can give yourself a little bit more play. You know, you might be able to give yourself a 10-point stop now, and you can go for even a higher target for a 2-to-1. But yeah, so those are just my quick comments there for about 60 seconds. But otherwise, keep it up. Outstanding. Good going.
Thank you. I just want to reply to that. The reason I don't go
Yes.
to the micros is because I want to establish a behavior within myself that gets accustomed to. I might have to go. My job is calling me, but I want to get accustomed to the lots I'm taking. I don't want to go down. I want to go forward, not backward. If you understand what I'm
Understood.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
But
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
Providing you have the
sorry, guys.
capital.
I'm at work and I gotta go. Sorry.
You take care.
Thank you.
Take
See
care,
you
guys.
soon,
Take
mate.
care.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Thank you. I always wrongly say he's a doctor, don't I? I get that wrong, I think, Bruce.
I don't know. I get the feeling like yeah, he's like hopefully he's not you know has surgery now or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, if I ever need help, I'm dialing David 911.
Tell me, mate. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly. So, guys, we're at the 2-hour or over the 2-hour mark, and I do want to reach out and like, hey, we try to get to everybody. One though, in particular, Mike M. We've got you down. You're new in here as well. I wanted to cover you, but we kind of ran out of time here. Shout out to you. Welcome. And keep
Welcome
going.
indeed.
You got some a few nice entries in here. So just mention that. And then yeah, that's for those of you
great.
we didn't cover. I mean, Shark, we've been covering you like every week almost. So I hope you're okay. If not, we can definitely get you next time. And then let's see who else. Laura as well, and Vale fan. I wanted to invite you up the stage here as Malek was going over some of the Camarilla levels. And Stephen, I think we tried to get you last time and couldn't, or maybe you didn't any content. So anyway, just to let you guys know, you know, this is how we do it. This is the process, and it's you know, kind of early in the week, like Tuesday or so, when the coaching assignments are given out. So you know, make sure that you start filling out your spreadsheet beforehand, because if we don't see it in there, then we're not going to cover it. And you know, that's how we go through the process, and then invite you guys up to the stage. So we'd love to get, you know, as many guys as we can up here and open the mic for you. That's where I'm coming from. So anyway, great stuff, great content, and thank you so much, coaches. David, take us out, please. You're so good at it.
Too kind. Thank you, everyone. Really great having John and Vinny on the stage, and all the rest. Thank you, traders, for doing all your notes and so forth.
Might have lost David.
Have I gone? Oh.
No, I got him.
No, you got me? You got me?
Did I lose
Okay.
sound?
I hear you.
Can you guys hear David?
I hear David.
I can't hear him.
You did. Okay. Start again. So thank you, everyone, for all the great posts, all the great work that you do, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, John. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Bruce. If you've had a good week and you're a bit tired, take half a day off tomorrow. Have a long weekend if you can. Would be my advice. But thank you,
Bruce,
everyone.
take some time off.
Take some time off, guys. You know,
Watch the Masters.
yeah,
Thanks.
exactly. Watch the Masters. Yeah, Augusta. Cheers, guys.
Hey.
Nice weekend.
Thank
Thanks, Bruce.
Bye bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Great job, everyone.
Yeah, I'm not hearing.